this is Heavy Thrash at a Nasty Metal Production channel at YouTube. Okay, in my Roadrunner Records video I showed off even a few Metal Mind Records pressings or CDs. Well, I'm going to show off this time the rest that I have on the label. And these are ones that weren't licensed by Roadrunner. So, I'm going to start off with at least the earliest. And this is again from the Tank box set. This right here. And I'll show off again the rest of this as well. Booklet. Okay. Here we go. This is the DVD actually that was released upon it, but I'm going by catalog number. This is actually the lowest in the catalog number, so it's live bootleg, which was catalog number 0129 100 whatever. But yeah, this is DVD. Opens that way. But yeah, the footage right here, it's kind of raw sounding, it's very typical for this, and they do tell you on the back that, and I'll read it for a bit, please note, in spite of the stereo mix and mastering of the sound, the quality of the footage featured on this DVD leaves much to be wished for. So, even though there's more, it's giving you that this is not the best quality. Yeah, it's got also, I'll say, filmed in Birmingham, 1981, which is actually a rehearsal, not live, but a rehearsal. And the quality is pretty, sketchy. But it's got some cool tunes on there. It's pretty much most songs off the Power of the Hunter record. Walking Barefoot Over Glass, Some Came Running, Crazy Horses, Used Leather, Power of the Hunter, and Filth Bitch Boogie. Honestly, I dig Tank, and then you got other ones such as a really good, this is probably the best recording on this DVD. They say some of it is wished for, but except for the version of, on here, He Fell in Love with a Stormtrooper, which was recorded in Bristol, 1981, same year. I remember seeing this on YouTube, one of the best quality on this DVD. One of the best. And it's also something I was not I've noticed was the lyrics are different on this version right here instead of the one on the on the albums and the single. It's a little different. Don't know how that happened, but I guess maybe the lyrics for the actual album version, I guess, was a little filthy in a way, I guess, inappropriate, but whatever. It's cool. Okay, going on. Let's put that back in here. Okay, going on. This was the other live album that they put out. It's a live one, but Return of the Filth Hounds Live. I haven't listened to all this all the way. Not the other one. I did, but this one definitely features some pretty cool songs out here, such as This Means War, Echoes of a Distant Battle, TWDMO, which means That's What Dreams Are Made Of, and then we heard the Thunder, which is a pretty new song to hear, which the actual studio version is also on here, but there's also another studio version that makes it onto Still at War. Then you got Don't Walk Away, Honor and Blood, Power of the Hunter, and Shell Shock. Then there's another song on here called In the Last Hours Before Dawn, which also gets re-recorded for the Still at War album, which would be the last album to feature Algie Ward with Tank before the bullshit. Okay, what's going on? This is the other live album that they put out, and this was recorded in 1981. right here. War of Attrition Live. I listen to this. This is definitely raw Tank. Tank at the rawest hour with the original lineup, everything. And Jerry has some cool bonus tracks as well, such as demo versions of Shell Shock, Run Like Hell, and Blood, Guts, and Beer. Run Like Hell is very different sounding compared to this. It's a little slowed down, but I kind of really dig it. Then you got demo versions of Too Tired to Wait for Love and Man Who Never Was. Very little different sound. And then you got live versions of, again, That's What Dreams Are Made Of and Blood, Guts, and Beer. And then you have BBC sessions of Hammer On, Don't Walk Away, and Heavy Artillery. But it also features some other cool live tracks, such as Shell Shock, Stepping on a Landmine, Blood, Guts, and Beer, Run Like Hell, Don't Walk Away, Both Hands of Hades, Stormtrooper, and The Snake, which is, he fell in love with the Stormtrooper, but whatever. Cool live disc going on. Moving. Show this in my Flame Wars video on Tank. Still at war. Okay. That pretty much does it for the Tank sip. Now it's time to go on to another band. This is not Tank. This is Slaughter. Showed this in my Canadian metal video. This is Trapato. Pretty much precursors to death metal, but definitely cool. These two I'm going to show are actually some that me and Jacob's team that go back and forth. You know, my brother go back and forth taking back, because we kind of purchase them at the same time, and we take turns taking them back. So whatever. They're on Metal Mind. This is Sinister, classic death metal of the Netherlands. This is the first album, Cross the Sticks. Honestly, this is actually one of my favorites by this band. For some reason, I haven't heard a whole lot after the it's the one from 1995. That was like the last thing I've heard, and then you got the EP or something, but I actually like this one a bit more. This is just raw. To me, you can hear even influences from the Teutonic thrash metal scene, such as Creator, such as even some Sodom, or some of that, or even you can some American bands such as early Slayer and Possessed. It's off the wall with some of this. It's like, this is just, I would say, if there was such thing as Teutonic death metal, this is the sound right here. This is very close to that. It's just chaos. Going on, another one. This is the second Sinister album. This is Diabolical Summoning. I like this one, just not as much as the first one. My brother likes this one more than the first one, but I tend to kind of lean more towards the first one. I don't know. It's not a bad disc. I like listening to this one, but to me, the first one left the impression on me. Cross the Sticks, I would say, is like pure recommendation. This one as well. Now, ending off, this is at least probably the latest of all the Metal Mind. This comes out this came out in 2010. This is, and I got this recently, Quartz, Stand Up and Fight, classic new wave of British heavy metal. This is how metal sounded in 1980. Hell, I would even say that this was also a little ahead of its time. You can hear even some, kind of hear the influence a bit that this band had on bands such as even like Motley Crue. If you listen like Shout at the Devil, you can hear hints of this album on there. Hell, even some songs such as Charlie Snow probably might have influenced songs such as Looks That Kill. It's got that driving sort of force behind that, that sort of tempo, but also just that you know, the pattern and everything, it's almost similar. Great album. I will say this is my favorite Quartz album. First one's good. Against All Odds is good, but this is the one I tend to go back. I'll probably just go back to. It's a classic album, and just great. Just a great disc. Oh yeah, and also features a bonus track. Most Metal Mind reissues tend to also feature bonus tracks. This one's got the single version of Circles, which was one of the last. You know what? It's an outtake from the first album. It's at least the only song on here that has Jeff Nichols on guitar, who will then later on do a lot of keyboard stuff, or you know, the synth sound that you hear on most of the 80s Black Sabbath albums. He did most of that stuff. Hell, he was also going to replace Geezer Butler on bass, but that didn't happen. So, but this is where he came from, was Quartz. And what I've also heard was for the song Circles, Ozzy Osbourne given Quartz, you know, the background that Quartz and Black Sabbath had, the ties, did some backing vocals for the song. Hell, even Brian May did some guitar stuff for it as well. But apparently what I've been reading was those were never used, but they recorded some. So, however, there exists a raw version of the song Circles, and then you can find that on the Satan Serenade anthology disc. Very little, you can hear the difference. It's a little demonstrated, but you can hear a little difference. Again, what I noticed when I first listened to this version of Circles that's on here, I noticed that Jeff Nichols' keyboards, synth, whatever, were taken out. Even though I kind of hear hints of it, but they're taken out. On the raw demo version that's featured on the Satan Serenade anthology, his keyboards are in there. Hell, I would probably even say maybe even Ozzy's and Brian May's part might have been used in that version, but I don't know. But still, it's cool. Great album, one of my favorites, but the last one I have on the Metal Mind Productions, catalog. Alright, that pretty much does it. What I've also, however, most of Metal Mind's record stuff from at least 2007 to 2009 seem to be very rare now. It's very tough to get a hold of those. Like, let's say like the Satan. I've seen that one go for asinine prices. It's ridiculous. And even the Tank box set goes for quite a bit now. It's crazy. It's like I would see even most of these Metal Mind Productions albums at record stores, such as one down in Fresno, like Rasputin. I don't see them get hold of it at there, but when I would go into there most of the time during, like 2009, 10, or right around that time, you would see them almost floating around that store, but now you hardly see any. It's crazy. But I guess Metal Mind, even though being from Poland, I guess they're not importing their stuff anymore to the US. Whatever, you got the internet to try and get the stuff up. So, alright, that's pretty much me babbling on about what Metal Mind Productions. So, that ends this video. So, liking how I end my videos. This is Heavy Thatcher saying, I'm out.